Netflix might be raising prices for its streaming services in America for like the hundredth time. So should you buy the stock? Sit tight for the next 10 minutes as we go through recent news as well as my chart analysis and price prediction. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel Stox 101 for regular stock market updates. Netflix is not a stranger when it comes to price increases, and North American subscribers had their monthly costs rise 3 times in the last 4 years, including an 11% price boost a year ago. Moreover, the management has turned its attention away from maximizing subscriber growth to chase stronger top-line revenues and bottom-line profits instead. But the fees may stay the same because last year's price increase led to a sharp slowdown in subscriber growth, resulting in more than 1 million fewer net accounts in the first and second quarters of 2022. In our opinion, Netflix could be raising prices soon, but that will definitely come with a cost. With all that in mind, let's analyze the chart. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 1-day chart for Netflix, and as always, we'll first analyze the 1-day chart, then the 1-hour chart, and turn it up, we'll get the 5-minute chart. But right off the bat, we can see that we're down by about 0.2% on the pre-market, and we did get a 0.8% rise on the last trading session on Friday, 13th January, right? So where is the stock headed? In my opinion, I personally think that, well, Netflix in general has been bashed a lot by analysts and investors as well. So I personally think that sure, even though the stock did not perform all that well in 2022, I personally have a lot of hopes for 2023. So if we even look over here, we can see that we're already building a pretty strong bullish trend, right? Let me quickly get this into contrast. We can see that we're building up a pretty strong bullish trend, and if I'm right, then we'll likely get a pullback around the time of our earnings report, right? And that will probably push the stock price higher, right? Once we get the earnings report, that should probably give us a gap up around $350 because I personally am bullish about this earnings report as well, right? So if we get a $350 level, then we can maintain that and maybe move upwards towards 370, 75, and probably towards 380 we will get resisted, and then we'll continue to build on our trend, make our way back up in the $400 range. So that is my personal view on the stock. I personally think that it is bullish, and my price target for 1 year would likely be around $500, I would say. Let me quickly mark that. $500 is a good yearly price target because currently we're at $332. So going from the current price, we'd probably reach about a 50% growth in 1 year, right? And that is a pretty good return on investment, in my opinion. So not financial advice, but I personally think that in the next few days there will be a small pullback, and that will give us the best opportunity to buy the stock. When is the earnings report coming out? Let me check that real quick. It's coming out on 19th of January, right? And today is, of course, 17th. So I personally think that tomorrow or like either on 19th, will it be out in the aftermarket or the pre-market? Yeah, so it'll be out in the aftermarket, right? So we'll likely get a pullback and a small gap down on 19th, and then on 20th we might see a massive bull run, and that bull run, of course, in my opinion, should hit the $350 level. So this, of course, is a good level to buy if you ask me, not financial advice. And as we already discussed about the trend, a lot of people have a few doubts as to why the stock fell so hard over here, but it was pretty much a correction, right? The entire market was rather overvalued at the time of, and of course, during the lockdown, everyone was at their home and they were, just watching Netflix, and other streaming services as well. And that is why the stock kind of purged over here. Well, not purged, but what do you call it? It hiked in price, I would say, right? But if we look at the overall, or rather the original trend, let me get the trend line. We can see that it's going pretty well, right? We are still on the bullish side. We can see that we were around a price of 91 per, a $91 price, and like 2000 days after, we're up by about 78%. And if we look at this price, of course, then that would be an entirely different game, and that would probably be like a 300% return, I guess, in 2500 days, which again, if we look at a value investing standpoint, is not bad. But of course, if you would consider that same point, like $90, right, that could have given you guys 650% return if someone cashed out over here at the peak, which they definitely did not. And we all know that, during this period, they raised their prices, which led to a massive subscriber loss. And that subscriber loss, of course, caused the stock market, or rather the stock price crash. And then, of course, the market hit a bottom, right? The markets got into a recession, and that's why I believe that the stock fell down, and now it should probably recover. So, with that being said, we'll jump onto the 1 hour chart and analyze the stock further. And now that we're in the 1 hour chart, we can see right here that we're clearly, we've clearly confirmed that yes, we did build up a bullish trend over here, right? If you look over here, we have built up a pretty strong, beautiful bullish trend, and we do have a line of resistance over here at, the current level around 333, but we did beat that. Well, why did I do this? We did beat that. Let me zoom in a bit. We can see that we went to a high of around 336.5 and we got a resistance over there. We got a double top. And after that, we can see that we're, down by about 0.30% on the pre-market, currently at 331.801, right? Down about $1 if you look at the prices. And in my opinion, we're probably headed for $330. Once we get to the $330 range, we'll likely get supported. And that, of course, will be the point when the stock skyrockets towards $350, right? But then again, I could be wrong, right? So do your own research. But anyways, considering the fact that yes, this earnings report, if we do get a spike in volume like the previous earnings report, it will definitely add up to a massive spike and it will definitely give us a huge amount of return. So, anyways, if we talk about level of supports, levels of support, I personally think that there is a level of support over here. First up, of course, 330 will be one, but there is another level around 331.5 as well, so we should look out for that today, which I believe we will break today. We will likely get a red day today. Today's Tuesday and we're opening the market after so many days, right? Probably like 3 or 4 days, yeah. And that is why I believe that today we might get a lot of volumes. All of these traders waiting since 13th to trade will now finally get the opportunity to do so, and they will definitely sell some of the stock because a lot of people did see this pullback coming, right? A lot of people must have thought that, hey, we bought it over here. We're already up by like what? Let's see. They must have thought that we're already up like 15%. We should probably get at the swing trade that we made. Like, so 18 days and 18% of profit is pretty beautiful in my opinion. And with that being said, we'll jump on into the 5-minute chart and analyze the stock further. And now that we're in the 5-minute chart, first up, we all can see that the trend is further confirmed, right? The trend is still bullish. It still abides by this trend line that we created on the 1 hour chart. And, we did get a lot of volume over here. I personally would rather not trust this volume indicator on the 5-minute chart because I personally have seen that it was incorrect in some cases. So, well, let's just ignore this for some time, right? For the time being for this current chart. And if we look at 13th, January's performance, we can see that yes, we did get a slight gap down. Yeah, we did get a slight gap down after which we started to go up, right? We did get somewhat of a reversal pattern over here, and after that, we got resisted around 336.5. So let me mark that real quick. 336.55, right? That's a resistance. And over here, we can see that we did make a pin bar candle on the lower side, a red one, which indicated this massive sell-off that we got. And after that, we got another red, but on the upside, right? It's a red pin bar candle on the upside, accompanied by a green pin bar candle on the upside as well, which caused this bullish trend that we got, right? So this was a beautiful trade over here. We can see that if someone had purchased over here around the spin bar candle, they could have gotten a 0.6%, and with margin, that would be a definitely good trade, right? So a few percent for intraday is always good, right? And if we look at the current levels, right, the way it ended, let's quickly jump onto the extended trading hours and see both the aftermarket hours and the pre-market hours as well. On the aftermarket, we can see that yes, we did get a pullback. We continued with this slight bearish trend, and of course, in the pre-market as well, we're continuing with that. So the current situation in general seems a bit bearish to me, but if we have to confirm that, we'll go by the first candle trick. So by that, we can see that we ended the last session at 332.82. So a likely support would be around 331, and after that, not 331, 332, and after that 331.5, or rather 331, right? So as long as we're up, above 331.5, this level that we marked, we should be good, and there will always be a possibility of getting a gap down and then going up, as long as that gap down is not lower than the S1. And the market has well, yeah, so the pre-market, yeah, the pre-market just moved, and we got a move on the upside. So we're now not down by 0.3%, but we're rather down by 0.22%, which it's not exactly such a good thing, right? Because we're right above the TC, right before the lower pivot, which I believe is probably around 332. So that probably will not play out well in the short term. So, well, I could be wrong, and I do believe that the stock is bullish on the long term, but on the short term, I probably would say that for the next few days, I have a bearish take. But at the same time, as I already told you, I could be wrong. So remember that this most definitely is not financial advice, and you should always do your own research before you trade. If, however, you enjoyed my analysis, be sure to hit the like button. If you did not enjoy it, sure, you can hit the dislike button. You can subscribe to our channel, Stocks 101, for more such videos. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.